Okay. Okay. Hello. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible? Ashish, Irshad, Rakesh, Srinivas, Sunil, Vamsi, Mohammed. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, okay, guys. Perfect. I'm so sorry for the delay, guys. Again, I hope the screen is visible as well, and there's no issue with the audio or the video. Should we be waiting for anyone else? So, 1, 2, 3. Sunil, you have raised your hand.
Sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys, without any further ado, let's get started with today's session. I'm so sorry for the delay up to now, though. So, yeah, before that, a quick formal introduction on my end, guys. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council, and I have a complete of 4 to 5 years of experience in the same domain. And our demo today is on Certified Ethical Hacking version 11, the latest course provided by EC Council organization, the leading organization for cybersecurity certifications. Okay, and this is a foundational course, a course which is very important for someone who wants to get started with the concept of cybersecurity or wants to get into the domain of security in the information domain. So before that, quick introductions on your end, guys. Ashish, Irshad, Sunil, Srinivas. I hope you can hear me. Any questions or any introductions before we begin the session? Again, guys, let's keep this a bit interactive and fun. Let's not keep this just one-sided. So anyone with an introduction? Ashish, would you like to go ahead first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Ashish. Overall, I have 5 years of working experience. And currently, I'm working as Java developer, but looking more into this Italic, the security part. So that's why I have joined this course. So
Great,
it's from my side.
great, Ashish. Ishan, what about you? Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, I guess Irshad is away from the keyboard. Rakesh, anything about you?
Yeah, so I'm Rakesh. I have 9 months experience in a software company. So
Okay,
I joined this course to learn like what is there in this ethical hacking, what it
right.
means.
Okay, sure, guys, no worries. Srinivas, Sunil, Vamsi, anyone from you guys who wants to go first?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
Yeah, are you able to hear me now?
It's perfect now, Vamsi. I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone. This is Vamsi, and I'm joining from Atlanta. I'm currently pursuing my master's in information systems with a concentration in cybersecurity at Georgia State University. And
Right.
I'm currently working as a cloud security engineer at Meteorology Services in Atlanta as an intern. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you and
Right.
knowing about cybersecurity in deep. Thank you.
Definitely. Sure. Sunil and Srinivas, anyone from you guys? I guess you are the only guys left out, if I'm not wrong. I hope you're there. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sunil here. I'm from Bangalore. I'm having 8+ years of an experience in test automation.
Right. Okay, cool. No problem. That's great, Sunil. Sure. Anyone else, guys, who wants to introduce themselves before we get started? Yeah, okay, guys. Okay, perfect. Anyways, thank you so much for being so patient with me. Thank you so much for giving out, letting me know about you. That was great to interact. And let's get started without any further ado. So this is a common question. Again, the name of the course itself is CEH, which stands for Certified Ethical Hacking. So before we begin, this is a common question again that I usually ask the students to understand their perspective. So again, as the name itself is Certified Ethical Hacking, does anyone over here know what hacking itself is? So any suggestions, guys? Like, what have you heard about it, or what have you read about it? Any ideas about what hacking is according to you? Again, don't worry guys, just an interactive session. I'm not asking definitive answers. Any guesses will do. Anyone?
Unauthorized access to gain control over the data.
Definitely, exactly right. There's nothing wrong with that. Getting unauthorized access to information systems. Any additions on that, guys? Anyone? Or any other alternative answers? No problem. That's a great answer, guys. Okay, so if I have to just build up on the words that someone has mentioned, I'm so sorry, I'm not looking at the screen like who's talking. Okay, so I guess that is who has answered that, right? Was that Sunil? Ashish, if I'm not wrong, right? Was that Ashish?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, Ashish. Yeah, that's a great answer, Ashish. Applaud you for that. Okay, just to build up on your words, okay, if I have to define it out further, it is the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. And this is done, just like you have mentioned, in an unauthorized way, in a way where you don't ask for permission or consent of the organization owning by these systems. Okay, and now what could these systems be? Well, again, I talk about all the systems that can come inside a domain or inside any organization. Those could be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a web application server. Okay, so hacking is a procedure of trying to gain access to such devices without the permission or the consent and the knowledge of the person owning those systems. Okay, and this is usually done for the benefit of the hacker. Okay, so once they get access to the system, they can steal the data or destroy the data or just sell that data on the dark web, okay, for their own financial benefit. Now, if hacking seems such a malicious task, why do we have a course called ethical hacking is the second question. Okay, because hacking itself sounds very criminalistic. Okay, how could ethical join with it? Because ethical is something which is legal. Okay, now when these two terms come together, it's very contradictory. But if I had to define it out, on the other hand, ethical hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay, a vulnerability is nothing but a flaw, a loophole, a weakness in the information system, and this is done with the consent and the permission from the organization. So the organization, you work hand in hand with the organization to find the flaws or the weaknesses in the systems. Okay, and this is done so that you can report them back. So once a vulnerability is found, you report it to the organization saying that this is the weakness that is there, which hackers can exploit and get access to your information. So your job is to find those vulnerabilities and report it up so that they can patch it up. Okay, and once the vulnerabilities are patched, that closes the doorway for the hacker to cause any further harm. So thereby, with ethical hacking, you're trying to increase the security of the infrastructure rather than causing any harm. Okay, so I hope these two definitions are clear, guys. What is hacking and what is ethical hacking? Okay, hacking is something which is completely illegal. Ethical hacking is something which is completely followed or completely acceptable in a white collar job. Okay, now depending on these two terms of hacking and ethical hacking, we can categorize the various types of hackers. Okay, so in the real world scenario, you have multiple types of hackers. Again, there's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and there's someone known as a white hat hacker. A black hat hacker is also known as a cyber criminal, someone who performs hacking for his own benefit or for fun without asking for consent. On the other excuse me, on the other hand, you have someone known as a white hat hacker. Okay, he could also be called as a penetration tester or an ethical hacker. So white hat hackers are people who abide by the laws and policies of the organization and work hand in hand with the organization to find the vulnerabilities and patch those vulnerabilities up. In between now, between these two guys of black hat and white hat, there's a third person known as a gray hat hacker. And these people are also known as bug bounty hunters. Okay, bug bounty hunters are nothing but freelancers who work as ethical hackers, but they don't ask for permission. Okay, so like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before trying to find the vulnerability. But once they find one, they don't take advantage of it and report it back like a white hat hacker. So they have both the qualities of black as well as white hat hackers. Therefore, the name gray hat as a mixture. Okay, so again, as I've mentioned, they're also known as bug bounty hunters. The reason why they're called bug bounty hunters is they find the bug for you, for your organization, and for that they get a bounty. A bounty is nothing but a reward. Okay, that could be financial reward or a reputational reward for them, or any credit score or whatever benefits their career. Okay, so these are the three types of hackers that you usually come across when you work for an organization. Okay, so you would act as a white hat hacker to prevent your organization from being attacked by black hat hackers or being or seeing to it that other bug bounty hunters don't find any vulnerabilities before you do. Okay, now all these three types of hackers, whether that be black hat or gray hat or white hat hackers, perform hacking or ethical hacking in a set of procedures. And our whole course of certified ethical hacking is going to be going round and round regarding these procedures itself. Okay, and these type of procedures is known as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. So in organizations, the technical term used is cyber kill chain, the steps that you take to perform penetration testing or hacking. Now, again, various organizations categorize these into various numbers, but if I had to summarize it up, there are 5 important steps of hacking or ethical hacking. And the first step is called as information gathering. It can also be called as reconnaissance or footprinting. Again, guys, these are the technical terms that you always hear when you go in a real world scenario working as a cybersecurity team. Okay, so the first task that you do is information gathering, which can also be called as a reconnaissance or footprinting. Second task you perform is scanning, okay, which can also be called as enumeration. Third is gaining access. Fourth is maintaining access. And the last thing is reporting. Again, I've written an or over there in the last step in caps because that is where the variation comes between a black hat hacker and a white hat hacker. If you're a white hat hacker or an ethical hacker, you try to report the steps that you have taken and the vulnerabilities that you find. If you're a black hat hacker, obviously you're not going to report it. You're not going to contact the company. You're going to try to remove all the evidences, okay, the footprints that you leave. So you try to remove all the evidences, which is also known as clearing traces. Okay, and these are the 5 steps that any hacker or ethical hacker performs to get access to a target system. Is this clear, guys? Any questions up to this point? Again, I'm so sorry I forgot to mention this. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me at any certain point of time and ask me your questions, guys. You don't have to ask for permission to interrupt me. Okay, if you have a question, stop me and ask me. Not an issue at all. So up to this certain point, any question, guys, for anyone? Who is there? Ashish, Mohammed, Rakesh, Srinivas, Sunil, Vamsi. Any questions up to this point?
Nothing from my end.
Okay, guys, perfect. Okay, so now let's just briefly go through each of these steps one by one so that you guys have a better picture of what all topics will be covering in the course duration. Okay, so the first topic that we'll be discussing in our course is information gathering. Okay, now as the name itself says, information gathering is nothing but trying to gather as much information as possible about a target passively. What I mean by passively is that you try to get this information from other third-party sources. You don't make active connections with the target. You don't try to contact the organization, but you try to get information about the organization from the internet itself. Okay, so now you could ask me, sure, what kind of information are we talking about over here? And this is the information as follows. So you try to get information such as the IP address information or the range of IPs used by the different servers related to the target website. The whois records to understand who the website is being hosted by, when was it last updated, when is it expiring, all those technical records. Then the DNS records to understand the DNS server information. Then the employee details such as contact numbers, email addresses, phone numbers, fax numbers, whatever it be related to the organization. Then domain names and the subdomains of the organization. And if possible, publicly leaked usernames and passwords for the employees of the organization. And finally, the operating system information, like what operating systems are being used by the organization for their servers. Now, believe it or not, all this information is readily available for any organization on the internet. Okay, so you can find any kind of this information for any target domain. If I show you a very basic example, I can just go to the browser, and in my browser, I can search for the email addresses with the website called hunter.io. A very popular website among the pen testers and the black hat hackers as well. And if I search for any domain over here, so for example, let's say wipro.com. Okay, and this website does a very good job at streamlining all the information and giving you the email addresses of all the employees, again, working employees of Wipro. Okay, so as you can notice over here, these are all the email addresses: Sandeep Reddy at Wipro, Arun.Suresh at Wipro, Manish Goval.Wipro, Joseph Thomas at Wipro, and it also tells you what designation they're working for: consulting partner, infrastructure engineering, general manager, and project delivery guy, so and so. Okay, again, if you wanted to find the DNS information for any organization, you can go to a website called DNS Dumpster. Okay, again, like this, we have technical, again, tons and tons of resources on the internet where you get this information. And again, all this information is being legally displayed, guys. It is not at all a fault of the website or of the organization. Okay, it can be legally displayed and it can be publicly available. It's just that you need to know the resources from where you can get this information. Again, if I wanted to find the DNS information for an organization, again, let's take Wipro itself. Or if you want to give me any other example, you can give me as well, guys, in the meanwhile. And if I search for Wipro, this gives me the DNS information, all the company's servers, their host names, their exact public IPs, and their locations, and the complete network map as well of the organization to understand which servers are located where and what are their IP addresses and so on. Okay, giving you a complete whole mental picture or the network picture of the organization, and this can be repeated for any organization on the internet. Okay, so this I guess gives you a brief idea of what we are talking about in information gathering, trying to get all the publicly available information for any organization, okay, whatever it be. Okay, after you gather all this information, after the step has been successfully performed, then you go with the next phase, which is scanning. Now, information gathering is a very small phase, guys. Again, it can be done in a very short span of time, but a very crucial step. Okay, all you have to do is research about a company to get all the possible loopholes. Okay, the more information you find, the more attack windows or the attack opportunities you find to attack on the target system. Once you find all that, then you go with the scanning phase. So whatever information you have gathered, whatever IPs you have gathered from information gathering phase, you scan those IPs. Okay, scanning is where you try to make active connections with the target. So on those IPs, on those devices, you send packets from your system, and in response, you get some extra juicy information. So when we talk about scanning, it is basically categorized into 3 types. There's something called network scanning, there's something called port scanning, and then there's something called vulnerability scanning. In the organization as well, you follow the same 3 procedures. Again, guys, I'm repeating this step in organization because to focus on the point that this course is completely built on the basis of real-time scenarios. Okay, so whatever tools that they use in organizations, the same tools will be used in our course as well. That is completely practically implemented. Okay, so it is a complete practical course. There's no theoretical nonsense. The whole course is in the ratio of like a 40-20 ratio. The first 20 minutes in the 1 hour we'll discuss the theoretical concepts, and the rest 40 minutes will focus on the practical part. Okay, just to focus it on that. Now, coming back to our scanning part, as I've mentioned, there's 3 types of scanning. There's network scanning, port scanning, and finally vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we try to figure out on the target network what all devices are active and running. So from your singular system, from your attacker's device, you can try to figure out on the target network what devices are active. Once you find the list of active devices, whether that be mobile phones or routers or client operating systems or servers, whatever it be, okay, each and every device can be detected on your system when you perform network scanning. Once you perform network scanning, then you go with port scanning, where with port scanning on those active devices, you can try to figure out what services are running and what ports are open. Okay, so you have multiple services. You have HTTP, HTTPS, TCR, DNS, FTP, whatnot. Okay, multiple services are used by different operating systems in a network. Now on that, you perform port scanning to figure out what services are being used. Once you know the services, then you perform vulnerability scanning to check if any of these services has a vulnerability, a weakness. So you'll be using automated tools to perform vulnerability scanning and find the weaknesses in any network. Okay, same vulnerability scanning is performed in a regular day-to-day basis in organizations as well, and they use tools such as Nessus or Nexpose. So if I go to the browser and search for Nessus, this, as you can notice, it's a vulnerability scanning tool. In a real-time scenario in organizations, they purchase this tool, which is around $4,000 for 1 year subscription again. And in our classes as well, we'll use the same tool. Okay, there's a free trial version as well with the same features for educators or students who want to start their career in cybersecurity. And let me show you, I already have Nessus on my system. So we're using the same tool in our classes as well, just to make you understand how to run this tool and how to perform the scanning. Okay, so these are the scan templates. You can perform an advanced scan in the network and figure out in the local devices, whichever are running, whatever servers or client operating systems or whatever it be, how do you perform a scan on that device and how to find the weaknesses in that device. Okay, so all I'm trying to basically show you guys is how do you perform automated testing. Okay, once the automated testing is done, once all this is done, then we go into manual testing as well. Okay, coming to the next phase after scanning, which is gaining access. Now, once you have gathered all the information that is required, the next thing you have to do is attack the system, which is also known as gaining access part. In this, we cover a vast variety of topics, and this is the list of them. Okay, so the first topic that we are going to be discussing in gaining access is system hacking. So if you have a Windows operating system, whether it be Windows 7, 8, 10, or 11, doesn't matter, how do you crack or bypass that Windows operating system password is what we learn in system hacking. Okay, how do you crack the password and get access to the internal files? If you are unable to crack it, how do you remotely access the system through unauthorized access is what we learn after that, which is malwares. Malware stands for malicious software. Again, there's tons and tons of malwares. We will be discussing the most important ones, such as viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, whatnot. So we'll practically understand how these malwares are created and also understand how to defend ourselves from these various kinds of malwares. What are the defense techniques? Okay, so in much more simpler terms, you learn something called blue team and red team attacks. Okay, red team is where the offensively you try to attack a system. Blue team is where you try to defend your systems from these attacks. So we're going to be learning both the methods, attack methods as well as defense methods. Then comes malwares advanced. This is a bonus topic, guys, not included in the CH curriculum from EC Council. I've just added this so students have a better understanding of what malwares are. So in this, I'll be sharing the resources on Python program on how to create your own malwares. So you can build upon that on the malware development part. Okay. Then comes network penetration testing. This involves us all the common network attacks, such as the sniffing attacks or man-in-the-middle attack or denial of service attacks or hacking Wi-Fi routers. So these are the attacks that hackers can use and capture all the packets. They can capture your usernames or passwords or the data flowing in the network. Okay, these are all the network pen testing attacks where you try to perform them in a local network. Okay, then comes social engineering, where I'll show you how hackers perform phishing attacks. Phishing is where hackers try to send you malicious links where you can get fake replica login pages. Okay, so how do hackers create these fake websites, fake Twitter page or fake any social media page or any bank login page? How do hackers create these and how do you protect yourself? How to differentiate between these fake pages and official pages is what we learn in social engineering. Then finally comes web application pen testing, where I'll show you all the common weaknesses in websites. Okay, so we have a few vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability. These are the weaknesses that attackers use to perform attacks on websites. Okay, so using these attacks, again, they can get access to the backend database, the data in the servers, or also get remote access to the clients using that server, everything. Okay. Then finally comes vulnerability assessment, where we'll perform manual testing. So once you perform the automated testing, then we go with manual testing, which is vulnerability assessment, using a tool called Metasploit framework. And finally, to make it completely comprehensive, we have hacking mobile phones also. How to hack an Android phone by creating a malware specifically for it. Now, since not everyone could be technically from the technical background, we also have a few introductory concepts included. So before we dive into all these advanced concepts, we have a few basic concepts as well, such as virtualization, networking concepts, Linux and Windows. Okay, so in virtualization, we learn how to create virtual machines, because for this for this whole ethical hacking class, we need a separate operating system, which is known as the Kali operating system. This is a Linux-based operating system, so we'll basically learn how to download this and how to install this in our own local Windows system. Okay, and after you do that, then we go with the basic networking concepts, such as what is IP address, what are IPv4 addresses, what are IPv6 addresses, what is DHCP server, what is DNS server, all the basic networking concepts required. Then we go with Linux and Windows commands, because we're using a Kali Linux operating system, and then we dive into the advanced concepts. Okay. So after gaining access is done, guys, then we go with maintaining access to maintain persistent connection. So if the user restarts the system, we still need to maintain that connection with the target. So that is known as maintaining a connection. Then finally comes reporting or clearing traces, where I show you how to generate a report or how to hackers try to remove the traces from the target service. Okay. So any questions or doubts, guys, up to this part? Again, that's basically a demo for you to understand what topics will be discussed in the course. So any questions on your end, guys? If not, I can show you a very small practical, just to keep it a bit interesting, rather than just boring you out with the theoretical concepts. Any questions, guys, for anyone? Okay, let me just name out all the people. Ashish, Rakesh, Srinivas, Sunil, Vamsi. Any questions?
None at this point. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So as you can notice over here, I'm starting up my VMware application. Again, with the course, guys, all the tools are included for free. So I'll be sharing all the tools with you, the VMware application, the Kali OS. Again, some of them are paid tools. I'll be sharing cracked versions of them, which the same ones of which I am using on my system as well. So you don't have to pay anything other than the course fees, nothing for the tools. Okay, all these tools will be given for free of cost. Okay, so let me log into my Kali system and show you how this looks like. So this is my Kali operating system, guys. Okay. The reason why we'll be using this operating system is because this comes pre-installed with all the pen testing tools, all the ethical hacking or penetration testing tools, as you can see. Okay, information gathering, web application attacks, Wi-Fi attacks, reverse engineering, and so on. Okay, so since these tools don't come in handy with Windows, I mean pre-installed with Windows, we need to separately install this Kali operating system. But no worries, I'll show you how to install this Kali on the top of your Windows. So we need virtualization technology for that, and I'll show you how to install this VMware on your local setup. Okay, so all the classes become really practical based. I'll enable a lab setup on your systems as well. So I'll show you how to install your lab setup, and you can run the practicals along with me during the class, just in case if you have any questions. Okay, so before we end the session, a small practical, guys. Let me show you a basic combination of information gathering and social engineering. So what I will try to show you now is a very small practical on how hackers can try to get your device information from any random link on the internet. So what I'll do is I'll just open up a YouTube page, okay, and I'll send you a very random YouTube link, okay, and as soon as you click on it, again, nothing changes. You get the same YouTube page, nothing malicious, nothing wrong, okay, but I'll show you what kind of information I can get about your device from that YouTube link. Okay, so I'll just randomly select any YouTube link again, does anyone want to give me a link of their choice? Shall I go with this one? Something like KGF chapter 2. So I have just some random YouTube page, guys, from the internet. All I'll do is just copy this link, okay, and I'll just modify it a bit now. So I'll just open up a new page called Grabify. Has anyone heard about this Grabify? It's a very common page, a very popular page for information gathering. Rakesh, Srinivas, Ashish, anyone? Again, might have heard about it.
No, sir.
No worries.
Haven't
no worries,
heard. This is the first time. Thanks.
Okay, sure. So this is an IP blogging site, guys. What this basically does is you can enter any valid URL over here, and with that, it can create a new URL for you. And when you send that URL to people, when they click on it, what happens is their request first redirects to Grabify, okay, and then it goes to the web page that you create. So let me show this practically, and then explain about this then. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just click on Smart Logo. I have a new link over here. As you can notice, this is the original URL, and this is the new URL. Yeah. Was someone asking a question?
Yeah, so it is like tiny URL, right?
Kind of, you could say a URL shortcut.
Yeah.
But along with that tiny URL has
shortcut
features also. And let me show you what those are. Okay. So I'll just click on change domain. If Grabify seems too obvious, I can change it depending on my target. So if my target is interested in dating, I could select a dating link. If he's interested in gaming, I could select a gaming link. Depending on my target, let's say go with Shopify, assuming he's interested in music. Okay. I can give a path also if I want, like something like invite. Okay, so this is the new link now. I'll just copy this and let me paste this in the chat box over here. So where is chat? Found it. Yeah. So I guess everyone has received this link, guys, in the chat. Again, could you please click on it and verify if you're getting the same KGF trailer? Again, guys, I'm not performing any malicious attack, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm not hacking your system or anything. Okay, so this is just a very basic information gathering link. Okay, no harm will be caused, and I guarantee you that. And please confirm if you've got the same page, because that is the main agenda. Once you click on that link, you have to get the same YouTube page, KGF chapter 2 trailer or something. So anyone who has already clicked on it? As of now, no one has.
I can't see any link.
Oh, did you not receive it in the chat box, guys?
No, no.
Oh, 1 second. Can no one see the link? I just entered it in the chat box again.
I'm
I
not
can't
seeing the
see
chat window.
box itself. Yeah.
You can't see the chat, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
There is no chat options.
Okay, I guess my window might be a bit different, guys, from yours, because since I'm not the organizer. Can anyone help me out? Has anyone seen, or did anyone get the chat option?
No, sir. I am not seeing.
Okay, let me do one thing. A much better option I can send this to your mail directly. So can I get a couple emails, guys, for this practical part?
Yeah, I can give mine. It's SR
You can put it
Srini
in, okay, SR
INI
NI
RAO
RAO
5000
5000.
@gmail.com.
Perfect. Any other email, guys? One more.
RA
Oh, 1 second. RA
KESH
KESH
REDDY
REDDY.
6190
Thank you. 6190 @ Gmail.
email. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. 1 second. Let me just craft an email. A very believable email. Hey, guys. I've just released my album. On Spotify. Please share and support. Here's the link for it. Okay, just assume I am a musician, someone in your contacts. Okay, and I've just created my own Spotify for it. Okay, so I've sent the link to you now, guys. I hope you have received it on your mails. Simultaneously, let me just click on this myself as well. So I just copy this link. I'll open up a new browser just in case for the other people who have not clicked on it, who did not get the mail. I hit enter, and you can notice over here in the KGF, this is the link that I have, YouTube, and over here also I get the same page. As you can see, the same page, no difference at all, the same YouTube link. But now if I go to Grabify, I have one result, as you can see. And this is, okay, this is from some other user. And guys, one of you has clicked it. Don't tell me who it is. Let's keep that confidential for the time being. But one among you has already clicked it. So whoever is clicking it, I would request you to do one thing. Search for what is my IP. Okay, and this gives you your exact public IP from where you're browsing your internet, from your ISP. Okay, so one among you has clicked on it from Bangalore. Okay, and their IP is 49205 something. Okay, and they were using the screen size as 384 by 854 pixels, and this is their local IP. This is their processor. They use Chrome mobile browser, and their operating system is Android 11, and the phone they are using is OnePlus 9R. Okay, and basically they are getting it from Act Hibernate. 8 years per act. And that is all information that I could get from your phone, guys, just by you clicking on that link. Okay, that is how malicious links could be in today's world. Again, you get the same YouTube page, but internally I could get this information. Okay, and since I also clicked on it, my IP was 110.225 something, and you can notice that IP is also shown over here. My device information, my laptop, my browser, my processor, my operating system, and my IP and my ISP Airtel. This is completely genuine information. Then there was someone else also again from Hyderabad, and this is their processor. This is their operating system. Again, Act 5 minute, and this is your exact IP. Your OS is Windows 10 again. A laptop, assuming. Okay. Then there is another one over here. Again, another laptop from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, apparently. Okay, so as you can see, the information that I could get from very basic YouTube links. Okay, so it gives me the complete information of what operating system you're using, what device you're using. So from that, a hacker gets to know, okay, in the next step, he'll create a new malware, okay, specifically depending on the operating system. So if it's an Android device, he'll create an Android malware. And next time when he uploads the link or sends you a new link, that will be for malware. And when you click on that, you get access to your complete device as well, not just your information. Okay, so this is a basic information gathering step where I can just generate a YouTube link. All I've done is I've just copied a genuine link from anywhere and pasted it in Grabify. What that Grabify website does is it generates a new link for us, a new URL. Okay, what this new link is capable of is it when you click on this new link, it first comes to Grabify. The request comes to Grabify for a second. It captures all your device information and displays it to the attacker, and then redirects the user to the official website or the link that they gave, the YouTube or Facebook or whatever it be. Okay, and in that short span of duration, in a millisecond or a second duration, it gives out all this information about the target to the attacker. Okay, so it's basically like a URL shortener, but along with that, it is also an IP logger, which is capable of logging all the information the person clicking on that link. Okay, is this clear, guys, for everyone? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear.
Ashish, Rakesh, Srinivas, Sunil, Vamsi. Okay, guys. So yeah, a very basic practical, guys. Due to our time limit, I had to show you the smallest ones, and I hope this was quite interesting. So I hope there were no audio issues or no video issues as well, guys. Again, nothing more for our demo, guys. If you have any questions, you can let me know. If not, we can end the session. Again, yeah, one last thing. So sorry, before I end that, the whole duration for the course is around 1 month, guys. We'll have a class from Monday to Friday, every day for 1 hour, and the timing is going to be the same, 8 p.m. every day. Okay. So again, I will still take a couple more demos tomorrow and day after tomorrow as well, guys. So from Thursday, you can expect me to start the classes. The first class will be on Thursday for basic networking concepts. Okay. So yeah, Thursday or Friday will be the first class. You have for any fee payment or for any other query regarding the batch times, you can contact the DurgaSoft Institute. If you have any other technical queries or any other queries regarding any of these topics, here's my number on the screen. You can contact me as well for any technical queries. Okay. And just in case if DurgaSoft does not get
One
back to you,
question I have.
yeah, sure. Srinivas, go ahead.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
What is within this 5 weeks, what is the extent of practical experience we will gather out of the 5 weeks?
Again, as I've mentioned, Srinivas, the whole course is 80% practical based. So whatever tools you use are going to be the tools that you're going to be learning on, which are used in organization in real-time scenario. So we're using a Kali OS practically, we're using Burp Suite, we're using Nessus, Nmap. These are, again, to name a few, these are the tools that are used in organizations. So it's completely practical based, no theoretical nonsense. I'm being upfront and straightforward to you here itself. Okay. So whatever you learn is more than sufficient for a beginner to get started with cybersecurity in the domain. Okay, so it's more than a beginner's level knowledge.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Any other questions, guys? Rakesh, Mohammed, Sunil, Vamsi, Ashish.
Yeah, I have one question.
Sure, Ashish, go ahead.
So in the topics, it is written like hacking wireless networks. So does it mean we can hack into Wi-Fi's?
Exactly, that's Wi-Fi router hacking. How do you crack Wi-Fi passwords and how do you hack Wi-Fi routers? So if a Wi-Fi is using weak protocols, how do you crack that and how do you get the password in clear text and get access to others' Wi-Fi's? Okay. Again, disclaimer, this is just to understand what weaknesses exist, but not to cause harm on someone else's Wi-Fi routers. Okay. So you will practically learn how you can crack Wi-Fi passwords, but please, again, a disclaimer that I have to necessarily give, do not harm or cause loss to anyone else. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a knife. You can use that knife to cut an apple or kill someone. It's your choice. But my disclaimer, please use it to cut an apple. Okay. So I'll be giving you all the tools. I'll be teaching all the techniques, but you have to use them for your, for not causing someone's loss, but for learning things. Okay.
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 So yeah, that's
I
that.
have a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Is there any difference between SOC course and cyber security?
We will discuss very basics of SOC in this course, Ashish. SOC stands for Security Operations Center. We use SIEM tools, SIM tools, security incident and event management tools. So we'll be discussing a very basic tool called Splunk in this also. Okay, Splunk is a SIM tool which is used for monitoring and logging the data or tickets. Okay, so SOC is completely different course again, but we'll be discussing the basic primary details of that tool, Splunk tool. Okay, there's an advanced course called SOC as well. If you have any queries on that, you can ask me separately later on. Here's my number. Okay, we could discuss that later. But basics of SOC are also included in this course. Ashish, right? Was it someone else?
Sunil, yeah.
Sunil, sorry.
Sunil. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, no problem.
We'll be discussing the basics of
and,
SOC. We'll be discussing on the tool Splunk. Okay. So that should be sufficient to get started with it. Okay, but if you want much more detailed course on that, there's a separate course for it.
Okay, I have another question. Like, how is the job security for this one? Because one time we are doing a kind of this testing, right? Once application become stable, once we tested, right? If you take an example of product-based company, you have only few applications for product-based company.
Right.
After that, what is our job next? Once we do a testing of one complete application.
Good. That's a great question, Sunil. The thing with cybersecurity is that it does not stop with once itself. You can never say you've scanned once and you can forget about it. Every single day in cybersecurity, you get a newer and newer vulnerability, which you thought until yesterday was secure. Today, you'll find some new vulnerability saying that, okay, it is not secure anymore. Has anyone heard about Log4j very recently? Did anyone come across
Yes, it
that?
is. Yes,
Log4j?
yeah.
Until a
Yes.
couple days or a month ago, everyone thought every web server in the world is secure. Okay, and recently someone discovered that there's a very huge vulnerability in Apache servers from up to a certain version of 5.14, the Log4j. Okay, so like that, one thing about websites or any application as well, Sunil, is that every single day you never know what vulnerability will come out. Okay, so it is very necessary that you keep regularly testing an application from time to time with the latest plugins and the latest vulnerabilities and the latest techniques. Okay, again with automated tools as well as manual penetration testing. Okay, so it is a never-ending job, frankly speaking, when we talk about cybersecurity. Other things and all, network management or system admin or anything, you set the rules once and the system runs according to those rules. Cybersecurity is not such a feat. Every single day you have to learn and research every day, because you learn new things, you learn new tech concepts, you learn new techniques to attack your system and about the latest vulnerabilities. So it's a never-ending job, Sunil, frankly speaking. And that is why that one thing in cybersecurity gives it a lot of scope as well. So there's a huge scope which is getting started right now in India. In the last 2 years from the lockdown, every business has shifted to online. Therefore, there's a higher increase in transactions, higher increase in businesses online. Everything has increased. Okay, so that is why there's a huge trend as well with cybersecurity courses in India and all around the world as well.
Okay. And what about, is it a cybersecurity only for customer-facing applications, or what if there are some kind of applications used by not a customer-facing application?
No, this is again in cybersecurity, as I've mentioned, CH course is the very foundational course. So in this, you're going to be learning it comprehensively on all endpoints, whether it be a website, whether it be a network, whether it be an application, or whether it be a service, okay, a service, a web service, or any kind of a service. So again, you're not going to be going in deep testing such as SAST, like source code testing. All you'll have is DAST, dynamic testing, on the front end, okay, on most of the applications.
Okay. And I have a next question, like, can we get a recorded session if you miss one session by mistake?
Sorry, I forgot to include that, sorry. With the course fees, all the courses, you will get the recordings as well. Every single day we take the class, the recording will be uploaded to the Google Drive, and you can access this whenever you want. Okay, if you have missed out a session, we take backup classes as well on the weekends. If backup classes are not available, if you're not, if you're not able to make it for the backup classes as well, every single day the recording will be, the recording will be taken and it will be uploaded to DURGASOFT's Google Drive, and you can access that whenever you want to, 24/7. So recordings, the tools, the whole, the whole course, everything is included in one single package of rupees 8,000.
Okay.
Again, guys, I'm not sure about the fees part. Again, please confirm that with the institute. Last I was informed was about 8,000 for the last batch. But the thing is, I've added a few extra topics in this month's course. So please confirm with the institute once about the fees part, guys.
Okay. My last question is, how much confidence, like how many years can I put in my resume to claim that I've worked on cybersecurity? How much confidence can I get after?
If you're taking only CES 3 months, I would recommend you put only 1 to 2 years experience. Along with CH, if you take any advanced courses such as web application pen testing and all, you can go for a higher, put more experience as well, 3 years or 4 years of experience in cybersecurity.
Okay, these are basic for next courses like a website pen testing and all.
Exactly. So CH is you're gonna learn all the concepts from basics to more than intermediate concepts for you to get started with cybersecurity. After that, you have to choose a specialization, whether it could be in web application side or SOC side or mobile pen testing, network pen testing is your choice. Depending on your interest, you could choose a specialization. But in those specializations, the primary concepts that are needed to be covered will always be covered in CH only. Okay, so it is very necessary that you do CH first and then choose your specialization, whatever it be.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for your answers.
Sure, Srinivas. Any other questions, guys, for anyone else?
Yeah, this is Vamsi, this side, and sorry to bother you, but yeah, I have a couple of questions that I would, ask to get the reply from you. So
No problem.
can I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So yeah, like I just want to know how well, this course would be inclined towards cloud and its security or vulnerability assessment in cloud.
Again, as I've mentioned, Vamsi, this course is completely, as I've mentioned, basic to intermediate level. So we'll be discussing basics of cloud. We won't be going in depth on cloud. So we will still cover that topic as well on cloud security. What are the instances? How do you check for cloud vulnerabilities or assessment? Not in detail though, just very basics of it.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And would we be discussing about the latest vulnerabilities, like you mentioned, that is Log4j or any, hack-related news that happened recently, and how was that remediated and stuff like that?
Definitely, as I've mentioned, whatever I mentioned in the demo today as well, even though on the latest vulnerabilities, I'll be discussing about those as well. If you have any other vulnerabilities of your interest that you want to learn about, and if that's something that you're focusing on, you can ask me that separately as well. I could go through it and separately explain that to you. Not an issue at all.
Yeah, awesome. And like I'm planning to aim for security engineer kind of roles in FANG organizations. So would it be possible with like for new grad roles which we have over here? Like would it be possible with this content that we have right now?
Security engineering, I would recommend you go with CEH first, Vamsi, and if possible, try to do a few courses on cloud security as well. Because when you talk about security engineer, they will talk about the complete infrastructure. And usually when infrastructures are put on cloud, you need complete advanced knowledge on cloud also. So including this, also do cloud security is my recommendation.
Okay, yeah, got it. And like how the weekend classes work, can you just brief on it?
Vamsi, as of now, there are no weekend classes. Weekends, slots again. There are no slots on weekends. The only weekday classes from Monday to Friday. We have a class for 1 hour. Okay, and it will be at 8 p.m. sharp every single day.
Oh, okay, 8 p.m. IST, right? Okay, yeah, perfect.
Same time. Right now, when we started the demo, same time every day.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So that would be 10:30 to 11:30 for me. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned, tomorrow and day after tomorrow also I'll be taking the same demo only for a couple of the students who are going to be joined.
Perfect.
We might start the classes from Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Again, note guys, for everyone, tomorrow and day after tomorrow also it's going to be demo. So if you're interested, you can join the demo. If not, you can skip those classes.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds good. Awesome. Thank you so much for answering all the queries, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vamsi. Have a good day. And any other questions, guys, for other people? Anyone else? Okay, that sounds great. I hope you like the demo, guys, everyone. I hope I was able to clarify all your questions, and I hope there was no issue with the audio or the video. Feedback is very important. So if there's anything, please let me know for any improvements on the quality of the demo. And yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing more further to discuss. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon in the classes. Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day, you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.